Sure, that's a good question. So, I think in terms of rental income, the rental income's doing quite well, and I've got in net income, after you paid the service charges and stuff like that, I've got several £1,000s a year from that. I think the rent to SAs have done, and so each rent to SA unit that I've got, they're each doing about 1,000 or close to 1,000 in net profit. So obviously got 5 of those, and I think if I could get to some, my net income from the day job is close to around about 20k monthly. So I'm kind of, I don't know, 6 or 7k along the journey.
Hi everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to show you a behind the scene case study with Martin Skinner. Martin Skinner works full-time. He lives in Belgium, outside of the UK, and he managed to build his portfolio by working full-time and living outside of the UK. If in case you have a full-time job and you think it's not possible, Martin Skinner will share his story and maybe inspire you to do the same. I will see you in the end of the video. Bye now. Okay, so welcome guys, and we have Martin today. So Martin, thank you for accepting the invitation to be interviewed. So Martin is a very humble guy, always think he should be doing much better, but he works full time. He has a full-time job. He's used to say he's time poor, but yeah. So Martin, introduce yourself for those who don't know you.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me, Maria and Walter, and thanks to everyone for taking the time, and hopefully I can share some bits and pieces that might help people. That's the main thing, share our journeys. So my name's Martin Skinner. What can I tell you about myself? I'm a full-time engineer, so I'm actually head of construction management for GlaxoSmithKline Vaccines in Belgium. So for anyone who's heard of GlaxoSmithKline, they make a lot of pharmaceutical products, and one of the main areas that they do is vaccines. So I look after all their construction management, some notably kind of building pharmaceutical facilities. And so just a little bit of info there. That's the side, my kind of professional side of my life. The other side is so my property journey. I became an accidental landlord in around 2002. So my initial, I bought a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom property in Bristol, near the central station. I actually went traveling in 2003 for a year, so kind of rented that out, came back from traveling and thought, what will I do? Moved to London, and that in 2002, 2003, there was actually quite a bit of equity growth. So I pulled some money out of that and bought a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in Canary Wharf. That did quite well, and I'm a consultant doing what I do, so saved some money as well, put that together and bought another 2 properties in Canary Wharf. So two 2-bed, 2-bathroom ones, rented those out as well, and then I kind of left property alone for a little while after that, but obviously we had the property crash in kind of 2008, 2009, so I kind of stayed quiet for a while, and then just in 2015 I picked up 3 off-plan properties in Manchester, again using a bit of equity and a lot of savings. So I picked up 2 2-bedroom, 2 bathrooms, and a 1-bedder in new build properties in Manchester. So I've got 3 there, and in the meantime, I've managed to accrue. So I've got 2. So rent to SAs. I've got 3 in St Albans, all city centre flats, all modern, quite nice stock. I've got 2 in Reading, and I've also just picked up 1 in Nottingham as well. So it's kind of 6 rent to SAs, and I've also got, just in closing, I've got picked up a 50% owner of a 7-bed HMO in Sunderland, and also a single let in Sunderland.
Oh my God, you're doing very well. So let's recap a bit. So before you joined the course, how many properties you had before you joined the course?
I had the Canary Wharf ones, and I had 2 of the Manchester ones, but I didn't have the 3rd Manchester one, didn't have any of the rent to SAs, didn't have the Sunderland one, 7-bed HMO, and I didn't have the single let.
Yeah, and then, so still, in less than a year, you've done so well, but still you're saying you're not doing very well.
Yeah,
because
well,
that is because you want to quit your job. That is the goal, no?
I did, yeah, that's right, Walter. I mean, the reason I always think I'm not doing well is there's always, there's so many people kind of doing much better than me, but I'm happy to share. As you said there, Walter, my first target when I did, I think we talked about this, Walter, as well before we did the deal generator, and my initial target is to replace my income. So as I said, I'm a consultant in doing what I do, and I'm getting towards I'm making progress, let's say, on replacing income.
So how far are we for you to replace your income? So you have quite a big income. That is what people don't know, because with all these properties, you should be out of your job, but you want it to be very close to your income.
Yeah. Well, that's so my daily rate doing my engineering consulting. That's kind of it's my best friend and my worst enemy at the same time. And the reason that I say that is the day rate I get from that is quite high because I'm in quite a niche thing in what I do. I work abroad as well. So I've got foreign country experience. I speak a bit of French as well, so that helps me in my niche. And so I get a day rate from that, which is quite a healthy rate. And it's very, very different. There's couple of things with that. One is the monthly income, which is natural that I don't want to give up. But the other thing is it keeps me mortgageable, Walter, as well, because obviously I've got that monthly income and I've got that established income, and that keeps me mortgageable. So that's helped me. So that's meant that I've not been able to move away from the consulting yet, even though that is my final aspiration to do that.
Yeah, and you are, almost there. So I'm sure you will, a couple of more months, particularly now.
Really,
I'm sure you will reach that, your goal very soon. So, I'm very proud of you because you've achieved so much, and then you still others are doing, better than me. Is your journey, and also you have a full-time job. I wanted to interview you because a lot of people have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
And you're doing so well with a full-time job. So I want to congratulate you.
Thanks, Walter. Yeah.
So my last question, two more questions. So one is, how far are we from your goal? So, you're in terms of your portfolio, where are we? And then the last one, also top tips for all of us before we open to the Q&A.
Sure. That's a good question. So I think in terms of rental income, the rental income's doing quite well, and I've got in net income, after you paid the service charges and stuff like that, I've got several £1,000s a year from that. I think the rent to SAs have done, and so each rent to SA unit that I've got, they're each doing about 1,000 or close to 1,000 in net profit. So obviously got 5 of those, and I think if I could get to some, my net income from the day job is close to around about 20k monthly. So I'm kind of, I don't know, 6 or 7k along the journey. If I could replace that with a 13k, I think the rent to SAs, the interesting thing about those is, in the beginning of my property journey, I was never interested in either rent to SA, because I wanted to own assets, and
I remember.
And I still do want to own assets. But what I've recognised is that it's an excellent way. If anybody wants to generate cash flow, and they do have time and they've got some energy, I think rent to SA is a really good high yielding strategy. And I'm confident that I want to pick up at least 10 more or 13 more, and my target with that is to grow that business and then take a step back and get someone else to run it for me, because I'm running it all as well at the moment, which is quite hectic. But if I could get to the point where I have, for example, 20 of them with a net cash flow of around about 1,000 each one, then I'd like to kind of step back, get somebody else to run that, and that would be my cash flow. Then I could stop the day job and I could do property full time.
Yeah. Okay. So you're not that far. Okay, cool. So top tips for people that, have a day job and want to be involved in property. I know a lot of people have a day job here.
Yeah.
So what is the secret?
Yeah. I never feel like I'm an expert, Walter, at anything, but the good traction I've got has been just being what I'm quite good at is, I'll use time early in the morning, to look at Rightmove and Zoopla and those type of things. And then I use the lunch times at work as well. Sometimes I ring agents and things like that on the lunchtime. And then I just try and steal those extra hours in the day to work on my stuff. And then the other top tips are And then the other thing that I'm not very good at yet, but I want to improve on, is the use of social media. I'm horrible with social media. So I want to improve that, but I would tell anyone else to try to improve that as well.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Perfect. So because you're doing, you have a full-time job, and even though we may be like 6 or 7K towards your goal. So
Yeah.
I can't say you're doing badly.
No, it's
yeah. Even though you think, I think you're doing very well. So I'm very proud, because I've seen a massive growth from the person the first time we spoke and now. So
thanks, Will. Thank you. Yeah, it's I think every day it's just, that's the other thing on, and I think for everybody, it's just keep going, don't stop. I just keep moving forward and put one foot in front of the other, and it all moves on.
Thank you. So I'm going to open for the Q&A, so people can ask you questions. So we are officially open to Q&A. So if anyone wants to ask Martin questions, they can raise their hands, and let's get the questions coming.
Hi, Botar. Hi, Martin.
Hi, Joy.
Hello, Joy.
Good. I was wondering, with properties all over the country, effectively, and are you managing yourself, or have you got it with agents?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So the ones in St Albans, I manage myself. The ones in Reading, I did have with an agent, but I've just fired the agent because they're doing a really bad job. So I've taken those on. And the one in Nottingham's through an agent. How I manage them myself, because obviously I work abroad, is, and it's another tip really, is I've got really good, I have lock boxes outside the door for the check-in. I've got really good cleaners. So for example, the ones in St Albans, there's a husband and wife, they're a cleaning team. They're really, really good. They'll turn the beds over, clean the place, make it spotless, and they'll even do your odd little jobs. For example, they got me some linen one time when there was a problem with the linen. They went out to, I think it was Marks and Spencer, got some linen for me, and they're magic. And I would tell anybody, if you find a good team like that, pay them well. Look after them, and they'll look after you. And for me, the booking side of things, it's not like, when I first started running the bookings myself, I was really scared. I was thinking, I'm going to be inundated. But all I do is I put a 24-hour booking rule on Airbnb and the OTA. So if somebody wants my property, I don't have instant book. And I know that rules me out for a lot of people, because some people want instant book. But what I do is I always say to myself, look, if a booking comes through, if I know I've got 24 hours to deal with it, then I can manage that, and I can get the cleaning team in. And I think if it was instant book, I just haven't got the confidence to do that yet. Maybe in time I will.
Right, I see. And do you mind me just following on with that?